Hi everybody. So in this small video of the tutorials, I'm going to be showing you what color theory is. I'm going to be taking you through the basics of color theory. So I want you to have this small piece of paper or just a sketchbook wherever you want to practice it, because I don't want you to cram color theory. I want you to understand it and explore it by yourself. So have these three colors only with you. I don't want you to have any fourth color. We're just gonna be learning color theory with just three colors. So what is color theory first? Color theory is basically color mixing, how colors are combined, etc. So obviously the fundamental unit of color theory are the colors itself, right? So we're going to be using there are three types of colors, if you know: primary, secondary and tertiary. Again, I'm not telling you to cram it, because I'm going to teach you what are they. So yellow, blue and red, these three colors are called as the primary colors. Now, why are they called as primary colors? Primary colors are basically the type of colors which cannot be made by mixing of two colors. For example, if I take yellow and red together, I am going to get an orange. Now, orange is made with mixing yellow and red, but yellow, red and blue, which are the primary colors, they cannot be made by mixing two colors. So that is why these three colors are called as the primary colors. Now let's come to the orange. This is called a secondary color. Any color which is made by mixing the two primary colors are called as secondary colors. So if I mix yellow and blue, I am going to get a green. And this is not something I've crammed, but this is something I'm doing right now in this little cap of the paint bottles. So I want you to do this with me, so that you also find out and explore the mixing of the colors and how exactly the colors go. If I mix red and blue, then I get purple. Again, I just mixed it in the paint bottle. These are called the secondary colors. Now if I mix these two, or if I mix violet with red, violet with blue, those are going to form the tertiary colors. So they just increase in number, because if I mix in more yellow into an orange, then it becomes this kind of color. But then if I mix in more red, then it becomes a darker orange. So these two form the tertiary colors. Any secondary color mixing in with a primary color forms a tertiary color. So I want you to make this kind of grid for yourself and understand what color forms what. I don't want to ask you questions ki if I ask you what is blue plus yellow, just mix it and find it out. You don't have to cram anything. Now, if we're done with the mixing of colors, let's get on to finding the darker shades of every color. Now, what generally I've seen this mistake, not kind of a mistake, but this is a very common habit of people, that what they do is to find out a darker color to make, like for example, if we're going to be painting the hibiscus, right? If I'll need a darker color of red, people mix in black. Now mixing black is something that I am going to totally disapprove of, because what happens when I'm going to mix black, it is going to turn into a very dull color. The red will disappear, the only black will show. But then what's the other way of doing and making a darker color of the color we want? I am going to mix in a complementary color. So for red, the complementary color of red is green. So I'm going to mix in a little bit of green into the red. Now what this will do is it will not make the color dull. Instead, it will just make the color a little bit darker. Now for example, I'm just going to put here red. I am just going to mix in a little bit of green. Didn't that become darker? But the value of the actual red did not disappear. Now, how do you find a complementary colors? Now, this is something that you might want to cram up, but once you get the hang of a color wheel, you'll get to know. You won't have to cram any colors. So I'm just gonna tell you, I'm just gonna make a small color wheel in front of you right now. Look at this very closely. Isn't this a rainbow? Vibgyor, right? I know there isn't a violet, indigo in it, but all I have to do to make an indigo is mix this violet and blue together and it will form like an indigo-ish color here. So this is what a color wheel is. Now if I come down to mixing all the colors, this is my color wheel. I know this is not the neatest color wheel in the whole world, but if I were to find out the complementary color of any color, what I am going to do is just find the opposite color in the color wheel. For red, the opposite color is green. For orange, the opposite color is blue. For yellow, the opposite color is purple. So if we want a darker shade of orange, I'm just going to mix in a little bit of blue. But if I want a slightly darker shade of blue, I'm gonna mix in a little bit of orange. So this is how complementary colors work in relation to each other. All you have to do is just draw the Vibgyor in any format or whatever way you want to, and just maybe mix all the colors up. Don't mix the colors up, and then just find the opposite colors. Like, look, it's red and green, blue and orange, yellow and violet. So this in totality forms the color theory, which is the color wheel and the primary colors, secondary colors and the tertiary colors. So try this once, making this once. Just don't care about the neatness or anything. So please feel free to ask any kind of questions in the chat when I'm going to send you this, so that if there are any doubts, I'll be able to help you out. But just be confident, color theory is not something to cram. I'm just gonna say that again for the last time. And yeah, have a nice day. Goodbye.